Will you tell me about how you both met?
Oh boy. Well, I was dating someone at the time when I met Evie.
Yeah.
And this person, lovely girl, she'd given me the ultimatum, you know, we're gonna get fish or cut bait, we're gonna get married. And I was like, I'm not sure about that. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go home to South Carolina, because I always think more clearly back home, you know, floating in a creek. And my mom picks me up from the airport, and I told her what was going on with my girlfriend at the time. She goes, well, do you want to marry her? And I said, I don't know. And she says, I don't know isn't good enough.
Smart mother.
Mm-hmm.
And that night, she goes, do you want to come to the theater with me? And I walk into the lobby with my mom, and standing against the wall under a sconce in a black linen dress that I highly recommend was this one over there. And I thought, and I literally thought this, you're going to marry her.
Wow.
By the way, he had on a shark skin suit that he bought in Chicago for maybe 15 cents at a thrift store.
$10 at AmVets on
But I'd never
Halsted.
seen a shark skin suit, and I was like, I don't think he's wearing blue blazers and khaki pants. This is a different kind of look.
I also had a beard.
You did. You
Yeah.
look like an artist.
And so she asked for my number.
And I wrote the first postcard.
And when that postcard arrived,
Yeah.
was the only day my girlfriend visited my apartment. And when I went to take my mail out, there was a postcard from my wife. And my girlfriend at the time said, who's that? And I really want to get in a time machine and go back and go, it's my wife.
Sweet.
It's just amazing to me that a man can look at a woman, and I know several circumstances like this, including Jeffrey, and think she's the one.
Yeah.
Without any...
That's what Jeffrey said?
He was at Dartmouth. I was walking down the street, and he was looking out the window of the library. And he said to the guy next to him, who was his roommate, he said, who's that girl? And I happened to have known his roommate. It was so crazy. I played tennis with his roommate.
Wow.
And he said, well, that's Ina Rosenberg. And he said, I have to go out with her. Isn't that crazy?
How long did you guys date?
Well, I was 16.
And you got married at?
20. Wow. Yeah. You shoot a show in front of a live audience. What's the wildest thing that's happened to you live?
Jane Fonda crawled in my lap and stuck her tongue in my ear.
No.
You can find
did?
She
She did.
Totally true.
Yes.
That's so
Yes.
funny.
There's still a little Barbarella in there.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long
like
time
20
ago.
years ago or something.
Jane was 70. Helen Mirren kissed me on the lips.
Did she
walked
really?
on and gave me the second best kiss I've ever had. And the next night, Sally Field came on and did the same thing in the same spot because she'd seen it. And then the next night, Jeff Daniels came on and he did the same thing.
So great.
Forgot about Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels. It was 3 nights in a row.
That's hilarious. Can I just say, I love your cookbook.
Thank
It is so filled with joy. So how did you start out with the book? Did you start out with old family recipes?
We did.
On Evie's side of the family, there are a lot of fantastic recipes, and a lot of them are in the book.
What's your favorite recipe in the book?
Do you know
What
about
is-
Hop and John? Hop
No,
and
what's
John
Hop and John?
is Charleston's sort of version of beans and rice. And the tradition is on New Year's Day, you have collard greens and Hop and John, and you have good luck.
Oh,
I think it's
That's
because
good.
it's good hangover food.
On my side of the family, my mom had 11
Yeah.
children, so she did not cook.
Yeah.
She distributed food. Basically, we just tilted our head back and she would walk around with cereal like a mama bird and then come after it with milk.
Yeah.
And so the only thing my mom made
10
really
people
well
every day?
Yeah.
was she made fudge. But she didn't ever write it down. And so all of us, and she's no longer with us, and so all of us in the family have our own memory of what it should be. So the recipe appears 5 times
I
in
think
the book.
so.
And it's
We
called
have-
The Colbert Sibling Fudge Saga. And you know, it's an argument
so
between
great.
all of us about how to do it. But the book's really about like what it's like to hang out with us in our life, in our kitchen, and at our parties and stuff like that. But like now that we've done it once, it's an
know what goes into
enormous
it.
amount of work.
So much work.
There's so many moving pieces.
And one sentence that you write
Yep.
that makes sense to you means something totally different to somebody else.
True. And then you
And-
get the copy editing.
Copy editing goes crazy. That's one of the things about cookbooks. They go berserk.
Yeah.
And one of them I just handed back because on the second, it was a recipe for like banana bread, and I had one banana, comma, mashed, and the copy editor wrote peeled and mashed. And that's when I took the book and threw it against the wall. I was like,
we've had
a monkey knows to peel a banana.
We've had
Exactly.
those too, where we wrote,
Right?
I think they can figure that out.
Like, what's the option?
Will you cook something for your book?
We will try.
What are you going to make?
I'm going to try to make a green goddess dip for
Ooh.
like crudité.
Oh, that sounds fabulous. What are you going to make?
I'm gonna make something called a Capri Sunset.
Sounds like a cocktail, right?
It is. It is.
That sounds great.